Mercedes in serious trouble after Lewis Hamilton's huge bombshell. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Mercedes news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Wolff reveals who first told him Hamilton had decided to leave Mercedes for Ferrari. Toto Wolff has opened up on how he first learned that Lewis Hamilton was set to leave Mercedes to join Ferrari in 2025, with the team boss initially hearing from Carlos Sainz's father that the move was happening. While past rumors surrounding the possibility of Hamilton partnering with the Scuderia had surfaced but never flourished into reality, the scenario looked to be more realistic this time around, something confirmed to Wolff when he received a call from Carlos Sainz Sr. "I heard the bells ringing 2 weeks before," Lewis told me the news, Wolff explained during an appearance on the High Performance podcast. "The old man, Sainz, called me and said, 'This is what's happening.' And then there were a few drivers that rang me up that didn't before, so I thought, okay, there's something going on there." I sent a text to Ferrari boss, Fred Vasseur, saying, "You're taking our driver?" Didn't get any response. Very unusual for Fred. He's a good friend. So, I saw it coming. When Lewis arrived in the house like he did so many years before, we had a bit of small talk, like we always do about the Christmas holidays and all of that. Then I said, "Well, we are recruiting from Ferrari now? We got this guy." And Lewis said, "Oh, there's something I need to tell you." When he said that initial moment was a little bit of thinking. So this is really happening. I can't imagine you anywhere else than Mercedes. But instantly it's like, what are we doing with this? And there is always opportunity. Quizzed on whether he had been tempted to contact Hamilton during that 2-week window prior to hearing the news directly from him, Wolff responded, "No. I think that was a situation that I just wanted to see how it was happening, and leave it to him and to Fred to tell me that they were doing this." The news came as something of a surprise to the F1 world, with it bringing to an end Hamilton's long relationship with Mercedes that had yielded so much success. But when asked how he managed to project calm in the moment of finding out, Wolff insisted that this was not an issue. "I had much worse in my life happening, so no, that wasn't a problem. It's just a new situation. It has risks and opportunities risks in the sense of how do I inform the sponsors as quickly as possible because it was leaking, and on the other side, what are we doing about next year?" Wolff also decided against trying to persuade Hamilton to stay, a situation that bore parallels to one he had previously discussed with Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola. "I think if someone decides to go, then you need to let them go," Wolff conceded. "I had a chat with Pep Guardiola a long time ago. He's a friend. And I said, 'What do you do if this and that player leaves?' And he said, 'What do you mean, what do I do?' I said, 'Well, do you try to convince them to stay?' He said, 'No. If somebody thinks he can play elsewhere better or earn more, you've just got to let them go.' And it is something I embrace in the same way here. Somebody wants to go, then let's make it as good as possible for each of the parties." The second story is Mercedes reveal priorities for 2025 package. Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team is facing a challenging road ahead as they lay the groundwork for a competitive 2025 season. The team has lost ground to its top rivals after the summer break, revealing critical weaknesses in its W15 car that need to be addressed. Recent upgrades aimed at refining the W15 package have not yielded the expected results, particularly when it comes to handling slow-speed corners, a consistent area of struggle for Mercedes over recent seasons. This issue of navigating slow-speed corners is central to the team's current development roadmap, as revealed by Andrew Shovlin, Mercedes' head of trackside engineering. Shovlin explained that the team has been aware of this limitation, but has yet to fully overcome it with the current package. The W15's difficulty in handling sequential turns, where one corner flows into another, creates inefficiencies that put it at a disadvantage compared to other top-performing teams. This challenge has become a focal point for Mercedes as they move forward, with an eye toward resolving these issues in their upcoming W16 model. The team's struggles in slow-speed cornering arise partly from the unique dynamics and design requirements of Formula One vehicles. High-performance F1 cars are optimized for high speed, stability, and grip, but often compromise in slower, tighter corners. Mercedes has historically excelled in high-speed performance, but the W15's struggles in low-speed handling highlight an imbalance in the car's design that competitors, such as Red Bull and Ferrari, have managed to address more effectively. A significant factor shaping Mercedes' approach is the budget cap, which requires teams to prioritize their development paths and make careful decisions about which upgrades to introduce each season. Mercedes, despite its ample resources and expertise, is not immune to these constraints. Short-term sacrifices are sometimes necessary to ensure that limited resources are allocated to areas with the greatest long-term benefit. In the case of the W15, this has meant that recent upgrades were not aimed at fixing slow-speed cornering outright, but rather at incrementally improving the car's base performance. These updates were expected to lift the car's overall competitiveness, though not fully address its deeper handling issues. Chauvelin emphasized that while the latest updates are performing as expected, the team is already hard at work on more substantial changes for the W16. Mercedes aims to tackle these fundamentals with solutions over the winter break, hoping to bring a car to the 2025 season that is no longer hindered by these persistent weaknesses. The engineering team is exploring drastic adjustments to the W16 package that will allow for improved stability and grip in slower sections of the track. Toto Wolff, Mercedes' team principal, has consistently acknowledged that performance fluctuations are part of the Formula One development cycle. The team has previously weathered competitive setbacks, only to bounce back with significant technical advancements. This long-term approach allows Mercedes to absorb short-term dips in performance while they develop a more comprehensive strategy to regain their competitive edge. The recent dip in the W15's trajectory, particularly in the second half of 2024, underscores the team's need to focus on long-term solutions rather than relying solely on incremental updates. Mercedes' 2025 vision is to build a car that addresses the full spectrum of their competitive needs. They recognize that overcoming their slow-speed cornering issues will be key to challenging the likes of Red Bull and Ferrari in the coming season. The third story is Valtteri Bottas role change. New paddock rumor about Mercedes' return spreads. Rumors are swirling about Valtteri Bottas potentially rejoining Mercedes, but this time, not as a driver. The 10-time Grand Prix winner, who recently parted ways with Sauber following contract negotiations, is tipped to return to Mercedes in an advisory role to support Toto Wolff and the broader Mercedes team. This possible reunion marks a new chapter for both Bottas and Mercedes, spotlighting the value of Bottas's experience and his potential influence on Mercedes' future direction. While fans initially speculated that Bottas might be Mercedes' reserve driver, recent reports suggest he could take on the role left by Jerome D'Ambrosio, who departed Mercedes to join Ferrari as deputy team principal and head of the Ferrari Driver Academy. D'Ambrosio's move opened a gap in Mercedes' management structure, creating a timely opportunity for Bottas to step into a new role. According to Brazilian racer Christian Fittipaldi, the paddock buzz indicates Bottas would join Mercedes as an advisor, capitalizing on his extensive F1 experience and deep familiarity with the team. This shift toward a management role rather than a driving position could signal a fresh era in Bottas's career while simultaneously bolstering Mercedes' strategic depth. Bottas's history with Mercedes, where he raced alongside Lewis Hamilton from 2017 to 2021 and contributed to several Constructors' Championships, has fostered a deep mutual respect with Wolff. Known for his disciplined approach, professionalism, and resilience under pressure, Bottas is well-suited to offer insights that could shape Mercedes' driver development strategies, car setup optimizations, and even overall team morale. During his tenure with Mercedes, Bottas established himself as a reliable, consistent, and effective driver who helped the team secure titles. This history is why Wolff and Mercedes seem so eager to bring him back into the fold. Bottas's experience as a race winner and former lead driver for Mercedes can provide a unique perspective, especially as Mercedes continues to rebuild its position among top competitors like Red Bull and Ferrari. His advisory role could also benefit Mercedes' new signing, Kimi Antonelli, who is expected to be groomed for an eventual F1 debut. Bottas's presence could offer mentorship and guidance to Antonelli, whose development in the coming years will be crucial for Mercedes' driver pipeline.